Morning, Mr. Omar of
Good morning.
Hatamleh. Thank you so much for joining us. Real quick with the questions. Is this your first time in the UAE?
Actually, no, I've been here before,
Okay.
but this is the first time actually I come to present some
Okay.
of the talks on innovation.
Right.
And understand this is one of the biggest innovation events in the Arab world, so
Right.
I'm really happy to be part of this amazing settings what they have prepared here for us today.
Nice. How long ago was your first visit?
I've been here about 2 months ago actually
Oh,
for
okay.
a business trip. So,
That's not
yeah,
long.
And actually the weather is perfect this time of the year, so I'm glad.
Yeah, you joined us at a good time.
Seems to,
Yeah.
to work really fine.
Your thoughts on how far the UAE has come since it first started out?
Well, Dubai specifically and the Emirates in general has been recognized as a catalyst
Right.
to where all these major innovations, new technologies are taking place. Innovation is a very difficult thing to do because you have so many constraints, so many roadblocks. And I think one of the main things that made this nation successful in becoming one of the most innovative is the leadership, right? So
Right.
if you have top cover leadership, that will enable the infrastructure, enable people to be successful at what they do.
Right.
And from there things will happen. When you put an environment in which things are easy to happen, that magic will follow.
Right.
And actually Google, one of the mottos is you cannot force innovation,
Right.
but you can allow an environment in which innovation is allowed to flourish.
Right.
And that is exactly what's been happening here.
So you cannot force innovation, but how do you spark it in other people? How do you make it happen?
So first of all, there's so many different aspects of innovation. First of all, you need to think how to make people create and believe that doing innovative stuff and thinking creatively is going to add value. Unfortunately, a lot of people believe that when you have to do something innovative, there is risk. So people by nature are averse to risk. So what
Right.
they try to do is disengage from anything that's actually going to be new, disrupt the way of normal business. And to do that, you can actually start maybe gradually. There's two ways. You can start gradually and show them the value as we go along.
Right.
Or sometimes you can force it and then and show them the value. And when you see the value, a lot more people will start adopting it.
Right.
So, and innovation actually is a big word, right? You can have innovation in terms of governance, innovation, open innovation, how to learn from other industries.
Right.
As a matter of fact, there is no single innovation for industries nowadays. If you invent an innovation that applies to one single industry, it's going to affect all the industries.
Right.
There's so much synergy between what we've been seeing from all the economic and industrial companies across the line.
True. Your thoughts on how much innovation has helped shape a community over here?
So, if you think about, a lot of the common things that we see in day-to-day activities. For example, let me talk to you about the innovations that came from the space sector.
Right.
So, the CT scan, for example, that we use every day, the
Yeah.
microprocessor, the weather satellites,
Right.
and I can go on and on and on about all these contributions that came because of the space research
Right.
and the space field. And they are contributing substantially to create economies, to create jobs, to make
Right.
people's lives better on
Right.
Earth. And so that's how you see, the connectivity between what all the industries are bringing
Right.
and how they help across all the economies and people's lives and so on.
Since we touched upon space, your thoughts on the UAE space program to colonize Mars, to
Yeah.
have its first satellite up?
Yeah, no, it's Mars is a very, very complex thing, right?
Yeah.
So I understand they're making a lot of progress in
Yeah.
sending a probe to Mars
Yeah.
in the near future, and there's other projects from different people.
Right.
I think sending people to Mars is going to be the biggest challenge here, because you have a lot of risk,
Yeah.
a lot of issues that you have to deal with while sending a person to Mars, right?
Right.
You have to deal about radiation, cosmic radiation,
Yeah.
about food, about psychology, about how do you land on Mars. Mars atmosphere is very light. It's not like Earth. You can't
Right.
deploy parachutes.
Right.
So the entry, descent, and landing going to Mars
Right.
is going to be very challenging, right?
Right.
And once you get there, how do you produce enough fuel to
Yeah.
come back? You have very finite amount of time for
Right.
windows, and then communication is another thing. Medical emergencies, how do you deal with that? We've been working a lot of research and using in situ resources. Basically, if you need a spare, you
Right.
can't just take spares with you all as many as you can because of weight prohibitive issues.
Right.
So we've been working with 3D manufacturing,
Right.
using the sands, for example, available in Mars to create maybe spare parts,
Right.
to create environments, habitats,
Right.
and be able to leverage as much as possible on the resources that we have in the Martian atmosphere, Martian environment,
Right.
to be able to help us in the goals that we have to do there.
That's good. Since you've been talking about Mars and all of that, where do you see UAE in the next 20 years?
So if they continue that amazing trend, I definitely see them as one of the world catalysts in bringing the latest innovations and creativities in the world.
Right.
Like I said, because the environment is mature in such a way that's actually they're drawing international attention, and people are looking at it as case studies for the success they've had in making it so innovative and creative. And that definitely is something impressive to see how the progress has been going year after year. It's very fascinating.
Thank you. And last question, your personal contribution to the Arab community here.
What I like to do, I have a passion actually for encouraging people to think beyond the limits. Unfortunately, growing up, young generations, they seem to have a lot of restraint that things they can't do, they cannot do. I believe there is no limitations. If you put your time, your effort and resources, I think everybody can do amazing stuff. They can reach beyond their wildest dreams. And hopefully I'll be able to contribute more and more toward that, and encouraging more people to study science, technology, engineering, and math, and being able to be the future scientist, the future physicist, and be able to contribute positively to the economy.
Are you very interested in helping the youth out and stuff like that?
Absolutely, I have a passion for that, because I think definitely every help we can. The younger generations need to have all this encouragement, because, like I said, there is amazing potential that we're seeing today, amazing smart people. They need a little bit of guidance and give them the encouragement, and they will show you things you'll never be expecting, actually. never think they're available.
Cool. Thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely. Thanks. For your time.